Okay, so here we are again with our three air masses, 1, 2, and 3. What we're going to do next is we're going to learn how these air masses are shown on a map. This top view is the profile view, meaning that we're looking at the air masses from the side, almost looking at soap bubbles in a sink from the side. Down here, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a map. So a map is like taken as from like a satellite in orbit, kind of like something like Google Earth or something like that. So what we need to do is we need to take the information that's going on up here that we should understand now and apply it down here. All right, so to start off with, we need to label our highs and lows. So again, highs are going to be located at places where the air masses are tall, where the atmosphere is thick. So right underneath the top of the air mass, that's where we're going to have a high. Again, over here, same thing, high over here, another one over here. The lows are going to be located in the places where the air is not so high, less thick, so here and here. But the lows are going to follow the boundaries down. So I'm going to label that here, and I'm going to label that here. All right, so just a real quick review. We have at the lows warm air rising. So we have warm air rising like this right along the boundary. And we have warm air doing the same thing over here, right along the boundary. And above the highs, we have air sinking, like so. And then along the surface, the winds are going to be going from high to low. So we find the winds going like this, from high to low, from high to low, and from high to low. And of course, at the very top, our convection cell finishes off by having the air complete the entire cycle. So each one of these loops is called a convection current or a convection cell. Now, so we got to take this information and we got to put it down here. So this is a map view. This is again is going to be kind of like looking at Google Earth. So I'm going to put like a little city over here. And I'm going to put a little farm over here. All right. Now, over here, that city might look a little bit different from looking down on it, but it might have all sorts of city streets laid out in a little grid. So there's our city. And of course, the farm, looking down on it, we'll see the barn and the roof, and we'll see the silo. So these are our two locations. Looking down on them, though. So the first thing we need to do is we need to place on our map where the highs and lows are. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put the high right here, same spot, and a high over here, same spot, and a high over here, same spot. We're going to have to also add in the lows. So there's going to be a low here and a low here. All right, so now this is the next trick. You should have reviewed the video on the Coriolis effect. The Coriolis effect is where the winds are deflected due to the rotation of the Earth. And in the northern hemisphere, they're deflected to their right. Now, that happens in this, but I can't really show you from a profile perspective. So that's what's going to happen here. Now, and it works a little bit differently between a high and a low. And we just have to understand that the Coriolis effect is going to cause a deflection in the winds. And that's going to create what we commonly call a windmill pattern. So I'm going to show you how to do the windmill pattern. The first trick, and it doesn't make any difference which one you're going to do, highs or lows. The first thing you need to do is you need to do what I call R's and J's. All right, so above each one, I'm going to put an R. And below each one, I'm going to put a J. Now, these are going to become arrows, and you're going to see that in a second. So now what I need to do is I need to do on the sides. So the same way that this is curving and the same way that this is curving, this one has to do the same thing, and this one has to do the same thing. So it creates kind of like that windmill pattern. So it should look something like this. I'm going to erase the farm just so that we have a clear view of what's going on right here. All right, so now I need to add arrows. The arrows are going to represent the same rule of winds. winds go from high to low. So they're going to go from the high. That means that the arrowheads have to be going on the outside, pointing outwards. So from the high. On a low, they need to be winds go to the low. So the arrowheads are going to be pointing inwards towards the low. So we have, messed up there. Out from the high, into the low. Out from the high, into the low. And those are your basic windmill patterns. Forgot one.